Hello students, once again welcome to English Literature Classroom. Today I am going to teach Smart English 8. The name of the chapter is The Special Prize. It's chapter 8. Clear? Come on, let's start. What a naughty boy I have received. Okay? The first line starts like this. What a naughty boy I have received. Reports of his getting into fights with other boys, said the headmaster. Okay? Who said all these things? Headmaster. That he had received a naughty boy. Okay? Mohan. Hey Mohan, he shouted out to his peon. Okay? Now the headmaster shouted out to his peon. Hey Mohan, get Tapan of class 5. Okay? Who is to be called? Tapan. And in which class does Tapan study? He studies in class 5. Okay? Tapan, the second son of Ratan. Okay? Once again listen. Tapan was the second son of Ratan, a clerk in the village of Padumani. Now, Ratan was a clerk in the village of Padumani. Was a thin, dark, bright-eyed, intelligent boy. Now, Tapan was a thin boy, dark-eyed, bright-eyed, and intelligent boy. Clear? He was respected by his friends and was the leader of his age group and protected his friend. Now, Tapan was respected by his friend. Clear? He was respected by his friend and was leader of his age group. Okay, he was also the leader of his age group and protected his friends. If anyone offended him, he would fight with them. Okay, if anyone offended him, he would fight with them. He was studying at Jananpit High School. Now, where was Tapan studying? Clear? Tapan was studying at Jananpit High School, a mile and a half away from his village. Now, how far was Jananpit High School from Tapan's village? A mile and a half away from his village. Clear? Now, the shopkeeper of Padumani village had complained to the headmaster. Clear? Shopkeeper of that village complained to the headmaster. And what was the complaint? That Tapan and his friend had thrown stones at his shop. Okay? The shopkeeper complained to the headmaster that Tapan and his friend had thrown stones at his shop. Clear? Now, let's see the question. Who was Tapan? Answer. Tapan was the second son of Ratan, a clerk in the village of Padumani. Let's continue. Clear? When Tapan came into the headmaster's room, the headmaster pointed at the shopkeeper and said, "Do you know this gentleman?" Okay, once again listen. When Tapan came into the headmaster's room, headmaster pointed at the shopkeeper and said, "Do you know the gentleman?" "Yes, sir," said Tapan. Okay, what was Tapan reply? That he knows him. He lives in our village. Okay, Tapan replied that he lives in our village. It is true that you and your friends threw stone at his shop, said the angry headmaster. Headmaster was very angry with Tapan because the shopkeeper complained against him. Now the headmaster wanted to know, the angry headmaster wanted to know from Tapan that whether it was correct or not that Tapan and his friend had thrown stone at his shop. Clear? Now let's see the question. Where was Tapan studying? Tapan was studying at Jananpit High School, a mile and a half away from his village. Come on, let's continue. Clear? Now, headmaster asked Tapan whether he had thrown stones or not. At that time, Tapan replied that yes, sir, we did. Why did you do that? Okay, thundered the headmaster. Now, headmaster shouted and said that why did you do that? Why have you thrown stones? Okay, what is the reason behind them? Behind it. Okay, what is the reason behind it? Now, replied Tapan. Okay, Tapan is replying. This man cheats us. This man means the shopkeeper cheats us. He charges higher prices and gives less. Okay, he charges higher prices and gives less. He has paper bags that are padded at the bottom. Now his paper bags are padded at the bottom. The day before yesterday, we bought a kilo of dal. Tapan is telling, look, the day before yesterday, we bought a kilo of dal. And when we weighed it at home, it turned out to be only 800 grams. The padding in the bag weighed 200 grams. When I questioned him, he abused me and chased me out of his shop. Okay, Tapan questioned the shopkeeper about it, and the shopkeeper abused him and chased him out of the shop. And therefore, Tapan was angry with the shopkeeper and threw stones. Okay, this is the reason Tapan is telling. Okay, let's see the question. Name the village where Tapan lived. Answer. Tapan lived at Padumani village. Okay, come on, let's continue. The headmaster looked at the shopkeeper. Now headmaster looked at the shopkeeper. Okay, the man's face turned crimson. Crimson means red. Why? Because he had done fault. Okay, by cheating. Okay, this is a case of cheating. The headmaster thought for some time. Now the headmaster thought for some time. He turned towards Tapan and said, even so, what you did was not right. Okay. Now the headmaster told Tapan that, okay, it's no problem that the shopkeeper had cheated you, but what you have done, it's also not correct. It's wrong to harm the property of others. You should not harm the property of others. If the shopkeeper was dishonest, it is for the government or the village panchayat to take up the matter. Okay, any students or any children cannot take up the matter, isn't it? Who will take up the matter if anyone is cheating or if anyone is dishonest? Okay, the government can take the matter, the village panchayat can take the matter, the police can take the matter, but children cannot take this matter, isn't it? Headmaster told all these things to Tapan. Let's see the question. In which class did the ox enter? Now, this about ox, yet we have not studied. In the next page, we will study about this ox. But I am telling the answer. The ox entered in class 7. Clear? Now, let's continue. When Tapan returned to his classmates laughed at him for being scolded by the headmaster. Okay, all the students were laughing at Tapan. Why? Because Tapan was scolded by the headmaster. A few days later, during the school break, Tapan decided to teach a huge angry ox a lesson. Okay, now look what Tapan had decided. Tapan had decided to teach a huge angry ox a lesson. The ox used to charge at people. Okay, what the ox used to do? Charge at people and had even poked his horn into them and hurt them. Tapan slowly approached the ox. Okay, what did Tapan do? Slowly approach the ox. With a rope in his hand, he jumped on its back. Okay, look, what did Tapan do? Jumped on the back of ox and put the rope into its mouth. He held the rope tightly. Okay, Tapan hold the rope tightly. Okay, held, not hold. Tapan held the rope tightly so that he would not fall off. The ox was surprised and broke into a galloping whooping to throw Tapan off its back. Clear? Now ox became angry. Okay, it wanted to throw Tapan off its back. Let's see the question. Why did Tapan's classmate laugh at him? Answer. Tapan's classmate laughed at him because he was scolded by the headmaster. Let's continue. The break was soon over and the children had returned to their classes. Okay, now the break was over. Children had returned to their classes. But Tapan was very busy taming the ox. Okay, Tapan was very busy taming the ox. It crashed into the school compound and then into class 7. Okay, the ox crashed into the school compound and then into class 7. Teacher and students were petrified. Okay, teacher and students both were petrified and scattered in all directions. In the stampede, many of them stumbled. Now there was stampede, and because of the stampede, many of them stumbled and fell hard themselves. Finally, the dazed ox ran into a field and fell on its side. Okay, finally, the dazed ox ran into a field and fell on its side. Then it jumped up and ran for its life without looking backwards. Okay, at last, what did the ox do? It jumped up and ran for its life without looking backwards. Clear? Now let's see the question. What happened when the ox entered the classroom? Answer. When the ox entered the classroom, the teacher and the students were petrified and scattered in all directions. Clear? Up to this much. In my next video, I will continue with this chapter. Until then, goodbye.